Are y'all surprised? Y'all shouldn't be. So, in the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, per leaks, Goku is doing a Goku again. We have a lot, and I mean a lot of people upset at this. And it is time I address one thing that everyone, I guess, seems to forget about Goku time and time again. He doesn't do handicaps. So in today's video, I'm going to break down one of the biggest flaws in the character of Goku. His tenacity to want to fight his opponents on his own and at their full power. No matter, selfishly, how much at stake there is. That is not the writer's fault. That's just the character makeup. Needless to say, this has been a staple for Goku since God knows how long. Please don't get it confused with his idea that he can change everybody into a good guy by beating them. These two factors are very closely aligned, but they are actually parallel to each other, especially in this breakdown. I'll begin the breakdown by discussing past moments and the reasoning behind them, with hopes that it'll finally break this mindset that Goku is supposed to grow up or act differently by now. Y'all should know better. It's always been there. By the way, if you like these kind of videos, please make sure to hit the subscription and like to continue hearing more on my takes for the Dragon Ball Super chapters that keep coming out or continue to come out. So let's begin where it all started. So y'all think that after all this time, Goku would have learned to not spare his enemies, heal them, etc. But I will have to play the devil's advocate and tell you, you're wrong. Why? Goku has never liked people interfering in his matches. Period. Look at every single one of his matches. If he's not fighting one-on-one, he usually chalks it up as an L. That's it. Perfect example. Let's look at Goku versus Piccolo Jr. At this time, Kami suggests that both him and Goku gang up on Piccolo, and that with their combined effort along with the Z Fighters, they'd be able to defeat him, right? Goku wanted no part of that. He trained years for this moment and told Kami to stay out of his way. He'd rather lose to gang up on a foe, especially if he's attempting to test his own limits. Come on, man. And these times, you gotta understand, there was no hints whatsoever that Piccolo was going to be a good guy. None. Only thing you could go by is maybe the pattern of how he became friends with others. And that's Goku, who I'm talking about. How he became friends with Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, etc. But there were foes around there that he also took out. Goku ain't no walk in the park. He killed Tai Pai Pai, quote unquote. Obviously, dude survived. He destroyed the whole Red Ribbon Army. There's definitely plenty of foes that he took out. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, it's not, oh, Goku has never killed a person. He's not fucking Batman. So let's not get this twisted. I'm not trying to defend Goku's honor here. That's not how it goes. He just doesn't want part of jumping a motherfucker. Like, that's not what he wants. He says if he thinks he could take him down by himself, he's going to attempt that. When he fought Vegeta, he attempted that. He said, you know what? I think I could beat him. Then, obviously, Vegeta turned around and proved that it took everybody's willpower and strength in order to take out Vegeta. That's just an example of everything that I'm saying. But even then, he spared Vegeta because of the simple fact that he knew selfishly. This is the key point, because he's selfish. Goku is very selfish when it comes down to certain things. When it comes down to his one-on-ones and when it comes down to his battles to test himself, Goku is very selfish. And that is a key point as to what I'm getting at here to start with. Goku is very selfish, and this was proven from the very beginning. When it comes down to his battles, Piccolo Jr., he gave him a Sunzu beam instead of letting the dude die out. Everybody was wondering what the hell happened there. If any Dragon Ball tuber tells you otherwise, they capping, bro. They lying. You want whatever word they want to use to bullshit you. You gotta understand that that's Goku. Goku is selfish. Goku is egotistical in that sense. He's very selfish, proven in the Frieza arc too. The next thing is that you gotta understand that Piccolo left as an enemy. He left to train as the bad guy to come back stronger to attempt world domination. No extra hints that he was going to be a good guy. Dragon Ball Z comes in, and if you're watching or reading Dragon Ball Z for the first time without no background knowledge, you will think that Piccolo is his rival. Piccolo is the guy that's going to always be there until, obviously, we get to the Vegeta arc, and that's a whole different matter. See what I'm saying? In the time span between DB and DBZ, Piccolo, to my knowledge and to our knowledge, never attacked or encountered Goku. If they did so, their battles ideally would have ended in a stalemate. In other words, Goku was confident in his own ability to fend off his enemy. That is another answer into the whole conundrum as to why Goku does Goku. Or does a Goku. People consider it stupid, and most times is that in his head, by writer and by the standpoint of how Goku is written, if Goku is confident in his ability, he doesn't stand down. So confidence is a key thing with him. If he's confident that he can beat the opponent, or someone has the ability to beat the opponent, he often does the biggest mistake of leaning heavily on the best case scenario. That he's just going to mop the floor with the guy, or that the other person is going to take care of the job, you know, and either do it swiftly, or there's nothing that can go wrong. Because the best case scenario is I'm stronger, I'm confident I could beat him, and that's it. And nothing can go wrong. And usually that's not the case. Usually something always goes fucking wrong. Always. 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 Akira Toriyama has never strayed away from this character flaw he's had, because Goku, by the pure definition of it all, has a flat character arc. So he doesn't change a lot of the ways he thinks, a lot of the ways he acts, a lot of the ways he goes about things. He happens to the world as opposed to the world happening to him. For better or worse, he doesn't feel uncomfortable. He doesn't feel the uncomforts that a typical guy like me or you, the viewer, gets from each panel, because you know why? He's always been that way. He just never been there. His head has never been like that, programmed like that. He's oblivious to anything but the good fights. And that's another key thing, because he's so oblivious and he's so confident and he's so selfish in what he wants, which is a good fight and to test himself. He jeopardizes a lot of things. He doesn't see everything around him. My man gets tunnel vision. And that's a good and a bad mistake that if you continue using the trope, people get upset like we currently are, because I am a little upset that this is happening. But at the same time, I have to be neutral, because it's only like 4 pages out of a 45 page chapter. So because of that, I have to look at it and see exactly how the story is going, why he is doing so, because we don't even have translations. We just seeing 4 or 5 pictures and we're like, oh, he's reviving Moro again. Oh shit. Go off. But I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. So the thing is not that he doesn't learn or that the writers are bad. You had to cut Toyotaro a break, because up to this point, Toyotaro has given everybody everything they wanted, including a portion where the Z fighters themselves were going ahead. The jobbers, not the real Z fight, the jobbers, the Earthlings, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, those people had some panels that they were doing their thing. If this gets animated, it's guaranteed that they're going to have their own episodes to do their fights and things like that. So why are you so mad about Goku pulling a Goku? He should have learned by now. But he's Goku. He doesn't learn anything but how to fight. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Haven't y'all heard that saying before? That's should go a long way in that sense. It's like they've never ever strayed away from Goku having in his head that all he can think about is testing himself, testing his limits, and proving to his opponent that his opponent cannot beat him. And that's a thing that he has a staple of doing. If you missed that, go read the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc. Go read the Future Trunks arc. My man was talking trash to Zamasu. Come on. I am telling you. His confidence, the way he thinks, the way he goes, the best possible outcome, all of that goes into a factor into him believing that essentially nothing can go wrong. If he honestly had the head capacity to think otherwise, he wouldn't give a Senzu Bean to Piccolo. He wouldn't give energy to Frieza, the man who killed his best friend in front of him in cold blood. But why did Goku do that? Because he's Goku. There's no other explanation. Literally, he is Goku. He pulled a Goku and gave the man who killed his best friend energy so he could go off into space and live the rest of his days with a half-chopped body. Remember the conversation? Remember what he said? Go live on. But remember, a mere monkey beats you. For the rest of your days, wallow in that. Again, talking smack. That's Goku for you guys. Period. And that's where I want to go ahead and leave that. I want to go ahead and leave this video here, breaking these essential points as to why this doesn't come to me as a surprise. And if anything, I'll give a small take. There's a possibility that Krillin is going to say no to him, and Goku's going to snatch the Senzu Beans out of his hands. From what one of the panels looked like. Goku's gonna say, hey, do you have any Senzu Beans? And Krillin says yes. He's like, well, what do you want it for? That's what it looked like. And then one of the other panels looked like the Senzu Beans appeared in Goku's hand. Like he snatched them. So that tells me, possibly, I don't know, but my understanding will be that he probably snatched them out of Krillin's hand after Krillin said, oh no, we can't do that. So again, this may be an all Goku thing. But that's the way it's set up. He's confident in his Ultra Instinct. Let's see what happens. Instead of judging the writer, the mangaka, and taking out your pitchforks and trying to crucify the Dragon Ball Super manga the way you guys are doing over 4 pages. That's all I got to say. With that being stated, I'm going to leave it at that. DBGTX, holla at your boy, and I'm out.